Where's Chrissy?
Not in my house, but she was gonna sign up.
Oh, she didn't sign up. Hang on, let me send
No,
you.
I'm writing to Sue right now on WhatsApp because
I'll write to Chrissy.
Oh, great.
I forwarded the link to Sue.
Yofi. Because I sent it to whoever signed up for the Zoom.
Okay, well, I sent her the sign up thing, but I thought she had signed up. Okay, well, now she'll be signed up.
Okay.
No.
So we currently have 9 participants, and somebody's in the dark. Beverly, where are we going in the dark?
Hi, everybody. I'm here, but my camera's broken. So you'll just hear my voice and you'll see me on the right on the group chat.
Okay, so if you open up the group chat, if there's anything that you want to say during the session, Melissa's going to be keeping an eye on the group chat, and I'm going to be running the session. I see Sue has joined us. Hello, Sue. And are we waiting for anybody else? Arava people?
Just Chrissy.
Chrissy.
Hi.
Not just Chrissy. Chrissy. Can somebody call up Chrissy and ask her if she's going to be able to?
I've just done that now. She hasn't answered.
Okay, here my phone is.
Okay. Here's Sue and Denise. Yeah.
There we go. Hello.
Okay, somebody's dog is making an awful lot of noise, so I'm going to ask that everybody mute their microphones unless you want to talk, in which case you can mute. Are we
should mute our microphones? Are we muting?
Yes,
Your
especially
dog.
the dog people.
Adele.
The dogs, but
Adele, Chrissy said that she's joining from Naama's email address. Did you get somebody signing up from Naama?
no. But somebody forwarded the link. Gila said she'd forward the link to Chrissy.
Well, Adele start anyway, and Chrissy will join.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Judy.
So, Judy, why don't you start while I get my screen being shared? Just wanted to say hi to everybody, right?
I just wanted to say hi, and I wanted to say good luck to everyone, and I wanted to say that you all know me, and I'm here, and if you call me, and anything that you need that's not clear, even though Adele is incredibly clear, anything that isn't clear, just email me or call me, and I'm here to help. In addition, if there are like logistic issues like dates and things like that, don't make that the freak out. Just call me and we'll try and be flexible. Right? Some things can be flexible and some things can't be flexible. And take a deep breath. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. And lots of hugs and kisses to everyone.
Thank you.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Bye,
And if you
Judy.
need anything, just call me.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have fun.
Okay, so can you see my screen that says cluster meeting for oral eye test?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
Yes.
explain something, a couple of things before I actually start presenting. Number one, this meeting is meant for Reed teachers for the Minhal HaChinuch HaTishvuti. And we invited teachers that are not in the Minhal but are signed up for the eye test. So there will be some things here that are not completely relevant for the non-Reed teachers, and I will try and remember to point that out. And if I miss something, Melissa will point it out. But in general, because all of Reed is doing the eye test, we do things in our own way anyway, and this is basically the same for everybody, but a little bit different. Number 2, please hold all of your questions for the end. So write them down. Please do not stop me in the middle. It's more difficult doing it online. And I want to get through it. But if by the end you have any questions that have not been answered, we will deal with them by the end. Number 3, a Zoom. The Zoom is a wonderful tool. However, we're limited to 40 minutes. So what's going to happen is I will let you know when the Zoom is about to end, and it will end. And you can go for a break to get tea or something. I'll give you a couple of minutes, and then I'll send the link again. I'm not sure if it's the same link or a different one. I've had a couple of different experiences, so I don't 100% trust it. But then if we have not finished after the 40 minutes, which is now more like 30 minutes that we've been on, and we'll do it again. We'll like have another 40 minutes with a different link and continue. Okay, so before I start, are there any questions? Procedure, not about the iTest. If you want to talk, you have to unmute yourselves if you're muted. Okay, so we will begin. Welcome to the virtual cluster meeting for the oral iTest. And so we'll start with a little promo.
I saw this already. Me too.
I apologize to all those who have seen it already. Has everybody seen it?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Is there anybody who hasn't seen it?
Me?
Okay.
I haven't.
Okay.
I'm not Some of the babies good. Yes. So okay. But not good. You got my spinning notes.
Okay. So the rationale.
And there you sound like you're underwater.
I know. Please, everybody, mute your mics. Everybody muted? Yeah, I don't hear no echo. Okay, so the rationale. For Reed, at any rate, we have a 5-day work week in Reed. we do not have a free day for testing. In Reed, we have to travel long distances, and we've lost, most schools have to lose a day's work in order to go test. And if you haven't been losing a day's work in order to go test, it's because your principal has been covering for you, which is actually technically illegal. There's a lot of logistics at your own school in order to organize the test. There are a ton of forms. There have been problems of mistakes made on forms. There have been issues of equality of grades when you have a tester who comes in and sits down and gives everybody 100 just for opening their mouths. On the other hand, we have had testers who have come to our school with weak 4-pointers, and the tester has been assessing them according to a strict 5-point rubric, and they've done terribly, and it was just heartbreak. So the issue of equality of grades will no longer be an issue. We're not only moving into the 21st century, we're in the second decade of the 21st century. So it's like even time to stop saying that 21st century tools. We're there, and we got to catch up. And teenagers are digital natives. So it may be scary for us, but for the kids, it's really not going to be a big deal. So we're sure that you have millions of questions. Please write them down as I'm presenting. And after the presentation, if I haven't answered all of your questions, we will answer any questions that are left. So this is only for iTest. The Reed schools are only doing iTest. We are not doing Skype. All 4 and 5.
Adele, I'm sorry to bother you. I have Chrissy here, and they don't see an invitation. Can you send an invitation to them, or? It's to NUE.
To where?
No, not to Chrissy, not to Chrissy.
To where?
N is in Nancy, UE, MCH. No, N, no, go back.
NE?
NUE.
N is in Nancy again?
Yeah, and then a U like umbrella. Go back. Go back to the beginning again. N is in Nancy, U is an umbrella, E, MCH @gmail.com. Thanks.
Okay. Please mute. Okay, I'm muting. Please mute your mics. Okay. So, all 4 and 5 pointers from this year forward. Somebody's mic is not muted. Okay, I'm muting. I'm muting everybody. Okay. 3-pointers will remain tested by their teacher. There is no change for 3-pointers, and this is across the board, Reed and non-Reed. No 3-pointers are taking the Skype or the iTest. Special ed FS7 students should try the iTest, but if need be, they may have a human tester, your counselor or Judy. And for any other special cases, again, this is only for Reed, you email Judy. For other regions, you'll be in touch with I guess your inspector or me. I'm not sure about that. Okay. We have the entire Reed Council have worked very hard in order to put together a lot of materials in order to help you get through this. I'm going to click on this in a minute, but please, we will be sharing this site with you afterwards. The links for the site are on the toolbar at the top. That's how you navigate the site, through the links at the top. So this is the live site, and as you can see, here are the links at the top. So the first page is Welcome to Read, and I'm going to show you another video, which we recommend you show to your students.
I can't hear. I already saw it, but I can't hear.
Exactly. The sound is terrible.
Can nobody hear?
I can't hear.
Anybody else other than Gila?
Me too.
You can't hear?
I'm here.
I can hear, but I cannot decipher.
Okay, so this is on the site. You will look at it when you go into the site afterwards, and I suggest you watch it and then show your students if you want to. Second page is official information. What is that line there? Okay. This is the slideshow of the computerized oral Bagrut exam, which is all over the place. There will be a teacher's guide that we will all be receiving. It's not been published yet. This is not in our hands. The feedback from last year's pilot was very positive. We have a letter to read principles in Hebrew. This was sent to all of your principals, and this was sent to your coordinators, the letter in English below it. These are the dates of the matkonot and the Bagrut exams. Now, what's going to happen with the iTest is there are 2 moedim. I have a strange, do you see this strange purple line?
I thought it was on my screen. I tried to.
No, okay, I must have clicked something at some point with something else, never mind. So there are 2 moedim for the iTest. The first moed, there are 2 matkonot, the 29th and the 30th. The matkonet will be open both those entire days, from the beginning of the day until the end of the day. And then the Bagrut for that matkonet will be on the 12th and the 13th of February. So you have 2 days to do the matkonet, which the teacher will be assessing. They're going to do the matkonet on the iTest. The teachers will be sent the files, and the teachers will be assessing the files through their by listening to it. The second moed, the matkonet is the 5th and 6th of March, and the Bagrut will be on the 19th and the 20th of March. So those are the 2 moedim that everybody in the country who's doing the iTest will be doing one of those moedim. The simulei she'elon are here. Again, we're on the second page where it says official information. The simulei she'elon questionnaire numbers are written here for the 4-point and for the 5-point oral iTest. They are different simulei she'elon than the regular 4 and 5 oral exam. The quality of your earphones is going to be key in the success of this program. Please make sure your school buys enough quality over the ear with long microphone headsets, and you can speak to your counselors for suggestions and recommendations. But they really should be with foam and cover the ears completely so that it blocks out sound. There's a questions and answers page, which we will go over at the end. I'll come back to it later. The page on the site for teachers, there's resources for teachers here. So there's a basic description of the oral eye test and an explanation of the new component. The oral eye test has 4 parts. It has the personal interview, like we've always had. There will be 2 to 3 separate questions. There will be, hang on, let me come back. They are going to be assessed by an avatar. I don't know what it's going to look like. These are just avatars that we made up in order to give teachers an idea. I don't know if you'll hear this or not.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that's for example, and this is for an example. And the avatar will be asking each time a few questions. Okay, we'll forego this. You'll be able to see it on your own. So the avatar will be asking 2 to 3 separate questions. After the avatar finishes asking the questions, the kids will see the questions written on their screen. So they do not have to remember, what did she ask? They'll have the questions in front of them. They'll be able to think a few seconds to gather their thoughts. And we have a whole pool of questions, a bank of questions that we've worked up and are shared with you from the site as well. And then they record themselves. They can listen to the recordings. If they are not happy with the answers, they can record their answers again. The catch is that they can't go back to the first recording, because the second recording will record over the first recording. So yes, they can listen to themselves, yes, they can correct themselves, but they have to be aware that, number 1, there's a time limit, and number 2, they can't go back to what was recorded before that. The next part is a clip interaction. They'll be watching a short clip and answering 2 to 3 questions while watching. And we'll show you some examples of that. We've worked up 25, I think it's 20 or 25 sample clips that you'll be able to practice with. You'll be able to show your students 1 or 2, and then have them practice with themselves on their iPhones or smartphones at school, at home, wherever they want. Project presentation has to be between 2 and 3 minutes. Now, until now, there have been some schools who have been really preparing their students to present their project properly in 2 or 3 minutes. And the kids would come to the tester, and the tester would start asking questions, and the kids didn't even get a chance to say what they had prepared. So that is not going to happen anymore. The kids will have to work on their preparation and practice their preparation with each other and share it, and they will be presenting it to the avatar, who will not interfere in the middle of their presentation. After that, there's project interaction, like there's always been. There will be 1 to 2 questions about the process of doing the project. So, as I said, the tester will be a digital avatar, and there's a demonstration on the page below. Each question will have its own record, stop, and play button. Each page will be a different part of the exam. Students will navigate through the next button on the bottom of the screen, just like the regular eye test. And I don't know about the teachers who are not in Reed, but 95% of all of the schools in Reed have already been doing the eye test for students with learning disabilities for a few years already. So this is the same platform. Students will be able to hear their answers, and they'll have 1 chance to delete and record their answers. Actually, I think they have more, but we'll see when we get the practices. There will be one sample exam, 2 matkonot, and 2 Bagrut moeds for this year. 2 days for each moed, as I told you, and the simlei sheilon is here. The new component in the exam is clip interaction. Now keep in mind that this is a new component for us, for the teachers. The kids have never done this before. This is not new for the kids. This for the kids it is what it is. So besides the exam being on computer and not face-to-face, the only other difference is the clip interaction. For this section and to help your students practice, as I said, we've made a lot of clips, and I've prepared a tutorial for using the app Edpuzzle, which is the app that we used in order to prepare these clips, to teach you how you can prepare more. You can show the tutorial to your students. You can have your students prepare sample clips and play around with them with each other, share them with each other. Your kids are going to catch on within seconds. The benefits of the oral eye test: reliable, valid and reliable exam. No more having to coordinate 14 testers, rooms, foods, forms, students in the hall, etc., etc., etc. You don't have to coordinate with teachers from other schools. Nobody's going to have to travel at all. You don't have to fill out the forms. You're not grading it, but group markers are grading it. There will be standardization of scores and much more neutrality than there has ever been with the face-to-face. You don't lose any pay for a missed day of school. A student who is not present on the day that most of your kids are doing it can do it on another day, and there's no issues. They can do it at another moed even. You don't have to do te'um mas. Some students will feel more relaxed and less pressured. Some students may feel more nervous with it, but that's why you're going to prepare them. And that's why we've worked up a lot of materials for you to prepare them. You don't have to be listed on the expert site anymore, and the eye test is already a familiar technology. I'm not going to read through the possible challenges and solutions. I'll let you do that on your own. You do not need me to read to you.
Adele, I'm just going to interrupt you for a second.
Yes.
If you look at the bottom, if you scroll down to put your mouse on the bottom of the screen, you'll have a black bar that pops up, and you'll see that it says chat. If you have any questions, in the meantime, you can just collect your questions here by typing them into the chat, and then at the end, we'll have a collection of questions that we can stop and we can answer.
Okay. So, having said that, we've got 10 more minutes. So, are there any questions, Melissa, that should be asked now? Because questions that they ask now, I doubt will be saved when we go.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Will students be able to have their projects with them at the time when they do the exam?
No, we will get to it. Okay? That's
okay.
Questions that are going to be answered here. Okay.
I have some questions from what you already talked about.
Yeah.
The FS7 kids that that might need to be tested by human tester, can they be tested by another teacher from our school?
You will have to be in touch with Judy.
Okay.
In general, the answer to that is no, because they'll be tested by a tester from another school, just as they always have been, with the exception being 3-point students, which will be tested by their own teacher, just as they always have been.
I realize that because we're so remote, for one kid, that's going to be a problem. And anyway, the one kid is tested orally by a teacher from this school for the regular Bagrut.
Okay, well, this is one specific issue which will be dealt with who's it that's talking? Hila? Hila. Okay, so this will, you and I will talk about it, and Judy will be in the picture, and
Okay, I have another question. You said that we have different numbers to sign up for the different summer shalom.
Yeah.
Does that mean that the winter is already passed and the summer hasn't opened? So when do we sign up?
Your Bagrut secretary writes down the kids in the Mashov as,
She already wrote them down for the old shalom.
okay, so she has to put in for the new Shalom.
But winter's already closed.
The answer to your question is that these are, all of the oral iTest exams are considered summer moed. Even though they start at the very end of January with the matkonet, it's still considered summer moed.
Okay. Good.
I've got a question.
Okay, yeah.
Hi, this is Chrissy. I missed the beginning, so I apologize if I'm asking something that was already explained. We have to have a computer room, obviously. How many children?
Okay, Chrissy, we haven't gotten to that. Is that Chrissy talking? I've recognized.
Yeah.
I can't see who it is. Hi, Chrissy.
Okay. All right
Okay,
then.
so we're going to continue.
Okay.
Save your
Okay,
questions,
so
please, for the end.
Is time limited? You said they have 2 or 3 minutes to speak about this. Can they have as long as they want, or is it measured up to a certain amount of time? Or haven't I got to that yet?
We're still working through it. Okay, we haven't gotten to that yet.
Okay.
Excuse me, now I have one more question. You said the matkonet is via the iTest. Is it only via the iTest, or
Yes.
can it be done through a Wi-Fi computer, Wi-Fi connection?
No. The iTest. That you need. They need the practice, and you need the practice.
I know, just our computers don't work.
Oh well, your principal will have to get on top of that real quick.
Okay.
I've got other questions. Sorry.
Yeah.
Am I right in thinking there's 2?
We asked, in general, we ask that people write down their questions and save them for the end. Okay. I just when Melissa suggested that people write them in the chat. I don't want people writing questions in the chat. I see nobody's written there anyway, so don't write
just
questions
remind me
in the chat because
remind me
we're going to be going. What you didn't hear, Chrissy, this Zoom is going to finish in just under 5 minutes, and then I'm going to have to send you another link. We'll take a break of 5 minutes, and you'll be getting another link, and we'll be continuing. So
okay. Just remind me how I write the questions, please.
Sorry.
Remind me how I actually write a question. I can't remember what you said.
On a piece of paper.
Oh. Got you.
You
That I can manage.
that, Chrissy.
I don't need Nama for that.
Okay, so we're going to continue. On the page, I'm on the page using clips and questions. Using clips in lessons. And then in the next part of the Zoom, when this is over, we'll deal with the other pages. So, introductory lesson plan suggestion. Start the lesson with showing one of the clips on the practice clips page. Show the clip until the first question. Have the students answer in pairs and gather 2 or 3 responses from them. Point out that the answers may be different, but as long as they're relevant, that's okay. In pairs, have them go into the site on their phones and try another clip. Reflect at the end of the lesson what they found easy, what they found difficult. Try and adapt to help what they found difficult for the next lesson. Encourage them to practice a lot and also to make their own clips for their friends. Share them with your students on your class WhatsApp and share them with me as well, and we can add them to our pool. Remind them that practice makes perfect, and they should just keep trying. We believe in them. Tips on how to use practice clips in class. Do the first with the entire class so they see how to do it. Show them that there are different answers to the same questions and that that's okay. Have them work in pairs. We already said that. And this is kind of redundant. Number 5, give 1 for homework and have them practice their answers at home. Then in class, have them show other students how to answer. Help them answer the questions in short, sweet answers. Help them speak clearly when they're answering. Sometimes writing the answer first will help some students. They can start that way, but in the end, they'll have to answer without writing because they will not be allowed to bring any writing tools into the testing room. They won't be able to bring their projects, and they won't be able to do any writing. Have them practice a lot. Have fun making more clips in class with them. What kind of questions would they ask? On the bottom of this page, there's the clip that I made, a tutorial for how to make the Ed puzzle. And now I'm going to end this session. It's now 8:37. At 8:45, we will resume and continue with the rest of the site. Okay, so before we get knocked off, a minute and a half left. Anyone have an urgent question to ask? Denise, will you behave yourselves? I see what's going on there.
I have a question.
Yes, at least somebody here was serious. Thank you, Sari.
Okay, just out of curiosity, do you know how many different clips are going to be on the Bagrut?
Sorry, could you please repeat yourself?
How many different clips are going to be, video clips? Are going to be?
Each kid will get one clip.
But how many different ones are going to be?
A whole bunch. I have no idea. And different kids will get randomly different clips and randomly different questions. I do not know how many they're actually preparing.
But it's going to be more than one.
Of course.
Okay.
Adele, I have to ask you about the FS7 kids as well. I have a few doing 4 points.
Okay, well, that you should take up with your counselor or your inspector. That was Lauren.
Okay.
Who was talking?
Lauren, yeah.
Lauren.
Lauren.
Sorry.
Okay, fine.
So we have less than a minute now. I invite you all to go make yourselves a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, go to the bathroom, and I will be sending you a link again. Denise, cut that out.